This is Boots CCTV. This store is being monitored and recorded. Any evidence of theft will be given to police. You are being monitored and recorded.
Thousands of Boots stores across the UK are being watched live from the company's control centre near Nottingham.
Be aware we are actively monitoring this store.
Staff on the shop floor have sounded an alarm about a potential shoplifter, and a call centre operative immediately broadcasts a warning.
Put the items back and leave the store. You have been recorded. The police will be contacted.
All 2,300 Boots stores across the UK are monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at this CCTV hub. We've been given exclusive access to film what goes on here.
When the staff press a panic button in the store, what then happens?
If they press the panic alarm, it will come straight through into here. The team are then able to listen to what's going on, make a dynamic risk assessment of the situation in store, and then make a broadcast depending on what they see and what they hear.
Retailers are reporting a rise in shoplifting and abuse of their staff, and jointly they spend a staggering £750 million a year on security and measures to tackle it.
They've activated their panic alarm to alert the team here that someone's in store that they'd like us to keep an eye on. So as you can see, he's taken out an empty carrier bag from his waistband, takes a moment to have a look around before selecting some products from the shelf, conceals them in the bag, again takes another look around to see if anyone's watching. We've issued audio announcements into store to say you're being watched and that the store's being recorded. He then hears that, takes the products out, puts them back on shelf, acknowledges the camera to say, yep, you got me, and then leaves the store without incident.
And all done in a matter of?
All done within 30 seconds from start to finish.
Drug abuse is cited by most retailers as a key driver of theft. Becky is a former addict who shoplifted for years. She now manages the restaurant here at the Rising Cafe in Birmingham, set up by the rehab charity Battelle UK and run almost entirely by recovering addicts. Timon manages their community relations.
My lowest point came when, at that point, I'd been addicted for 20 years to heroin and crack cocaine. And I remember coming home to my flat and finding one of my friends dead in my flat.
I lost my children, I'd lost my family, no one wanted to know me, and I was sleeping in doorways, I was eating out of skips to survive, and I'd burnt every bridge and I had nowhere to turn, and that's when I realised that I needed to change.
Both stole to fund their habits.
So first I started stealing things from supermarkets like meat, cheese, alcohol, washing powders tend to be popular, things that people would buy. I had sort of customers, if you like, people who would buy certain things off me so I'd know what to steal. I'd also steal on request, if people would ask me for like perfumes, gift sets for people's birthdays, baby monitors was one, anything really, anything what would make me money.
How often did you get stopped?
I've been caught 5-6 times, and that's all.
And what happened those times?
I got arrested, a couple of cautions, and then I got fines.
Timon says he wasn't quite so proficient.
My shoplifting was quite chaotic. I wasn't very good at it. I got caught most times. I was just doing it out of desperation.
How did the police treat you when they did stop you?
I don't think they really took it that seriously. It was just a process to them.
And do you think that's right?
No,
Given there's a lot
so.
of, they've got a lot of crime to deal with.
I think stealing is stealing, At the end of the day, someone has to pay for that.
Retailers are familiar with people stealing to feed a habit, but privately they admit a growing number are stealing simply to feed themselves. We've come to Sheffield to meet Helen Eden, who runs a community group handing out food parcels. She hears a lot about shoplifting.
It is described as desperation theft, and that's exactly what it is. People that are that desperate that they have to go out and steal because they've got no other choice, or they're not aware of any other choices. I was speaking to a lady last year. She was on the verge of going out the next day to steal nappies. She got 60p in her account and she needed nappies for a young child. There was no other way she could get them from.
Steve Anthony used to do bar work and temporary jobs, but says he struggled with his mental health and ended up without enough money to eat.
I was going 4 or 5 days without food. I I had no means to get it. I ended up shoplifting just for food.
How worried were you about getting caught?
To be honest, I didn't care if I got arrested. What's the worst he could do? Lock me up in a police cell and feed me.
Retailers like Boots partner with charities to collect donations for people in need. But the cost of customer theft is hitting retailers hard, with £633 million lost across the sector last year. Figures from the British Retail Consortium released this week are also expected to show a doubling of violence and abuse against staff compared to pre-pandemic levels.
The body-worn cameras we've got in 350 stores now. And the first trial that we saw a 68% reduction in incidents of violence escalating. And the colleague is able to wear the camera. If they feel uncomfortable, they can activate the camera.
Here, a known shoplifter starts verbally abusing staff. The store manager issues a warning and taps his chest to switch the camera on. The man leaves the store, hands held up. With police budgets overstretched, Boots employs 24 security staff here in Beeston.
Is there a sense that, you know, the police could be doing the work that your security partner is doing?
I think police have a lot on. Their remit has got bigger and bigger, and actually speaking with colleagues in policing, both locally and nationally, you know, the demands on them are ever changing and ever evolving. It's part of our responsibility to make sure that we provide quality evidence that's sufficient for them to be able to get successful prosecutions.
Any evidence of theft will be given to police. You are being monitored and recorded.
All major retailers have CCTV monitoring centres like this one. The resources involved are enormous, but Boots believes their investment is starting to pay off.